the new Better Than Ezra album, as well as ranking the entire catalog of Better Than Ezra albums back to front. And Super Magick is the new one, and it marks a triumphant return after a decade-long hiatus. Released on May 3rd, 2024 through Round Hill Records, this album, Super Magica, is an album. It's a testament to Better Than Ezra's enduring appeal and evolving sound. Let's get into the tracks. Opener Mystified is pure Tom Petty, put through a Bare Naked Ladies filter, and I love that. That kind of flavor is poured on thick on Live a Little. It's kind of like kind of a late era Bare Naked Ladies as well, but we'll get deeper into that sound. Super Magick is a vibrant collection that seamlessly blends pop rock with the band's alternative earlier roots. The album doesn't shy away from catchy hooks and melodies, but maintains an integrity of song, ensuring that they're more than just fleeting pop sensations like a release like this easily could become. Better Than Ezra are crafting such interesting and unique songs on this record, but I do feel the need for a bit more comparison on the track Show 'Em Up, because it is as new radicals as a song could be without actually being the band New Radicals. It's like they made a new song, and that's just 90s magic in and of itself right there. The band's lead singer and songwriter Kevin Griffin has been busy in the interim before this album came out, writing for other artists like Taylor Swift. Yes, the microphone is on. Taylor Swift, can you believe that? That's kind of weird, which seems to have an influence on the fresh and lively approach on this album. It feels contemporary, yet it retains the distinctive qualities that have defined this band since the 90s, the mid-90s. Hotter than a set of twin babies. Why did I say that? Calling men ladies. Sorry, Doc, but I've been crazy. Super Magick is a mellow title track and really informs your soul and maybe your ears of what this album is all about. Better Than Ezra have never been Slayer, but the Super Magick is a spiritual release, kind of a slow daze, and while it's not the most energetic rock record, it's got real emotions, reality, and sometimes the easy listening, it ain't so bad. The middle of the record went a little soft, but the back end of this thing is electric, and does go a bit more to the Slayer side of Better Than Ezra, just by a microcosm of flowicity. Yeah, no, it doesn't sound like Slayer. That would be cool to hear a really, really heavy Better Than Ezra. There is good variety, and this album, it gets a lot more energetic as it moves on. Wonderful mix of sounds as you walk through the magic forest of wait for it. You gotta wait for it. You gotta wait for the score that I'm gonna give this album. I'm doing it out of 5. That's how I usually do things here on the channel. If I do a score, it is could be 0 out of 5. It could be a 5 out of 5, and anything in between. Contact High is growing fast among fans with its classic rock sound, and then there's the very simple and really great Grateful. We need to get to the streaming numbers for the last 5 tracks. We need to really stream these songs, because honestly, there's funk, there's 80s rock, there's world, there's falsetto, and there's just all of that stuff is just on one song. It's called Sensation. It's the new sensation. There's bluegrass, there's pop, there's anthems, there's even a Rolling Stone reference or two. Overall, Super Magick, I keep wanting to say Super Magica. What is that? Super Magick is a compelling album, a compelling listen that reflects Better Than Ezra's growth as musician and songwriters in the 2020s. That's a Green Day joke. I don't know why I put that in here. It's an album that will likely appeal to a broad audience, satisfying longtime Better Than Ezra fans, and maybe attracting a few new listeners here in the decade of 2024, the year of 2024. Walking through the creative forest that we mentioned earlier, Super Magica isn't a perfect record, but it's a wonderful full listen. A 3 out of 5 album. 3 out of 5 listen. The band sound inspired and their enthusiasm is infectious, making this Super Magick album a worthy addition to their discography, which we are ranking right now. We gotta scroll, people. I gotta lean in closer to you and scroll. That was my Better Than Ezra impression. I hope you like it. We're ranking the studio albums. They got what? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 albums. Can you believe Better Than Ezra have 9 albums? First and worst. And I don't feel like Better Than Ezra have any terrible albums or even really bad albums. But they do have a few that are weaker. And I feel like it was fairly easy for me to rank these. We're going to start with the first and worst, obviously, as we do. And I'm going to go with 1990s Surprise. I'm not knocking their early days, but there is a marketable improvement from this to anything else in the Ezra Garden. A great way to burst on the scene for sure, but they would definitely improve on other albums and all other albums. Coming in, that was 9th. Now we got the 8th best album. Let's say the 8th best instead of the 2nd worst, right? How Does Your Garden Grow from 1998. Experimental, but overall, experimental, but overall a good record. At the Stars reached the kind of success that the band deserves. And overall, this is a really good alternative rock record. 1998 was freaking amazing for albums, and this one just fit right into that amazing year of music. Coming in next, we got All Together Now, and I initially wanted to put this one kind of right in the middle, but there were some other albums that just kicked its butt. All Together Now, why isn't this one on Spotify? That bugs me, sheesh. But this one has Crazy, Lucky, Get Better, $, come on. Before You, how can we work together to get this one back on streaming, guys? I really get irritated when albums are not on the Spotify. All Together Now, pretty good. And now we have the new album, Super Magick, which I keep wanting to say Magica. It's because I don't ever see it spelled this way with a K without an A. It just doesn't feel natural. For all the reasons discussed earlier in this video, this is a great 2024 album by the Better Than Ezra guys. Next up, we have Deluxe. Cover is pure mid-90s, the greatest time of human existence so far, and probably ever. The sound, a preview of what the years 1996, 1997, and 1998 would sound like. Better Than Ezra are a huge influence on 90s rock, and nobody even knows it. Even they don't know it. Next up, we're getting into the really good Better Than Ezra albums with 2001's Closer. Closer. I feel like that I'm the only one ranking Closer this high. It's got a sound that I love on it, iconic album cover, and a Swamp DJ feature on spicing things up on not one, but 2 tracks. And even a feature with Toddy, who led me down a rabbit hole on Spotify because she's got this banger called 2 on the Go. And I like coffee. So way to go. Better Than Ezra, check out that song. It's a really good one. Yeah, the microphone's still on. Next up, we have Paper Empire from 2009. It's really great. And this one, really put up a fight with the next two albums for the best Better Than Ezra album. I'd forgotten how great Paper Empire was. It's really weird, poppy rocking, and fun. Next up, in this ranking of Better Than Ezra albums, we got 2005's Better Before the Robots. Really great sounding record. A Lifetime Overcome, Our Last Night, Breathless, Special, American Dream. This is how pop rock should be made. This is how pop rock should sound to my ears. And we are finally at the number one best Better Than Ezra album with 1996's Friction Baby, which is really great. This album was a part of my life changing forever. I was discovering my own rock and roll outside of my parents' amazing vinyl and radio collection, and Desperately Wanting to this day, 28 years later, was just a huge game changer for me. The song was so descriptive yet perplexing lyrically, so much so that I decided as an 11-year-old to write a narrative short story to sort of figure out what's going on in this Desperately Wanting. And I just, it's so tragic and so powerful of a song. Is someone being experimented on? I too have vivid memories of running through wet grass and desperately wanting things. Even as an adult, when I realized this song is more about medication than teenage angst, it works. It works on me as a preteen, and it works on me today, even as I am a nearly 40-year-old YouTuber. I was born in 1985. It took me a long time to get Desperately Wanting out of repeat, but when I finally listened to King of New Orleans on the CD single, I knew that this was a band that was far more than a one-hit wonder. In 2024, they're kind of a 12-hit wonder with 12 top 40 hits, and yet that's not what's important. The emotions behind Better Than Ezra and the emotional connections with this band are the stuff that really matters. And Better Than Ezra have that stuffs in spades. Please like, subscribe, comment, and show the world that Better Than Ezra rock and they still matter in 2024. Thank you, and thank Better Than Ezra.